As someone who plays guitar, I generally have to think about how I want to achieve certain goals that I have set to myself. What songs do I want to learn? What technique do I want to get down? What part of a solo is making me sweat? And so on. So it's no surprise that when it comes to Brawlhalla, I've thought about that a lot too. And in today's video, I want to give you some hot tips on how to get better at practicing Brawlhalla, and maybe even any other general skill that you want to improve on. So now that I've done my fancy written intro, we can actually get on with the video. First things first, we need to talk about why and how practicing works. When you practice something, the tendency is for you to get better at that. However, every skill that you practice have diminishing returns the more you improve at it. So for Brawlhalla, it's not different. To really get into a good practicing routine, you need to be always pushing yourself. If you practice something that you are already quote-unquote okay at, the returns you are getting are always smaller and far in between. So always go outside of your comfort zone to practice. Look for things that make you uncomfortable and push yourself to it. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of motivation to get through, but that always guarantees that you are improving a lot. Are you bad with scythe? Try learn some strings with it. Do you miss downlighting to side air a lot? Get into that training room and grind it for a bit. You should always try to focus your practicing on things that you're the worst at. Cause if you do this, you are always bring your skill floor, the worst that you can perform, higher and higher. Second, it's very improbable that you know what is wrong with your gameplay as soon as you finish the match. So a great way of finding out what is wrong is actually watching. It's pretty common that when you watch the pros at esports, you feel like it's so easy and that they're making silly mistakes, but when you yourself go out there to try and play it, you suddenly realize that it's not that easy and you don't really know why. So watch your replays, and when you watch them, you'll be able to see the entire match without having to focus on winning, so you can figure out what you're doing wrong. You can see if you're whiffing combos, you can see if you're giving stage control to your opponent, having predictable dodges, jumping too much or jumping too little. You'll be able to fine tune and see where the problem is to work on each individual step one at a time. However, you have to remember the first step while you're doing this. If you only watch the matches that you're winning, your good plays and your highlights, and you don't focus on your losses and your problems just to avoid hurting yourself, you might get bad habits, get an inflated ego, or just block your own improvements. When you are watching your replays, the only person judging you is you. You don't need to feel fear of being wrong, because being wrong is what will actually make you improve. So don't be afraid of looking at your mistakes, because those are your quick ticket towards becoming a better player. Third, you might not know what is wrong. You tried watching your replays and you don't understand why you keep losing still. Don't panic, that is okay. If you don't know what is wrong with your gameplay, you can ask someone who's better than you. If you have a friend or someone you think is open to giving actual criticism instead of judgment, it's a great way to keep yourself in motion. If you don't have someone to tell you what is wrong, you can always just try playing against someone who's better than you and see what they're doing against your options. How do they approach? How do they avoid your approaches? How do they punish your mistakes, and how do they avoid getting punished by you? Keep an analytical eye on everything. Be a sponge. Try to absorb every single tiny bit of information you can. You might find that in a mere 3 seconds of Brawlhalla gameplay, there is an enormous amount of info and things to unpack. You just need to understand what it is, so you can look at things individually and not get overwhelmed. So always be happy to fight people that are better than you, even if they 3-stock you. Always be happy that happened, because now you have a whole match of mistakes to go through and get better for the next time. Actual practice time. This is the boring one, but it's part of the improving aspect. As I mentioned before, when I'm going to play guitar, I have to divide my time into the rough and gruff things and the actual fun part of playing. I have to play the same boring scales over and over again, so I have them memorized and I can rely on muscle memory. And later, I can do the fun stuff like playing songs that I enjoy or just overall enjoying the hobby. So sometimes you're gonna have to just hop into the training room and beat that bot over and over again, fine-tuning the inputs that you're struggling with. Like, set goals for yourself. I want to hit this downlighting to Sarah on the hammer true. Okay, practice until you can hit it once. Next time you try doing it until you can hit 2 times in a row, then 3, then 4. Always push yourself a little harder than last time, and lo and behold, sooner than you think you'll be hitting it through 99% of the time. You always have to take some time of your sessions or even whole sections and dedicate them just to motor practice. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much you watch your mistakes, no matter how much you know what is wrong, if you don't work on them, you'll just be self-aware and not get much improvement out of it. Watch the esports scene. Nothing like watching the best of the best, the creme de la creme, duking it out. Looking at the best players of each region is a great way of learning new things. They are filled with knowledge and thousands upon thousands of practice hours, just there for you to absorb and take in, for free. You can go to twitch.tv/brawlhalla and click the schedule tab to see when the next tournament is on. Not only are you learning a lot, you also get free colors and skins for watching. Wait, what? Why am I even doing this video for? Why am I not watching the esports region? However, if you find that the esports scene is too advanced for you still, there are a lot of good information on YouTube, right here. There are a guide for every string of every weapon so far. There is guides for every true combo, and if you're watching this video, everything you need to do is just open a new tab and search for X weapon, strings and combos, Brawlhalla, and bam! You have every single possible string and combo at your disposal. And also you can watch many of these online teachers live, check their live streams. Ask them questions and I'm sure they'll be happy to answer every single questions you have. Twitch.tv/hw_user. Last but not least, forget all of this. That is why practicing is so important. You want to get all of the mechanics and the inputs into your muscle memory, transform them into your second nature. Because when you are in a match that you're not using as practice, you want to forget all about how the game works. You want to keep your mind clear so that you can adapt to what your opponent is doing. When it comes to actually playing for the win, you want to leave all of your mental RAM free to process the changes in pace to win the match. You don't want to think, I'm gonna do a downlight into Ser, because by the time you finish thinking that, it's already too late. When I'm playing guitar to other people, I don't have time to think on what scales I'm playing or what notes make each chord. When it comes to the performance, all of the building blocks have to be inside my memory already, so I can focus on actually performing. And that is where the joy comes from. I had to put in the work before the show to play good music, and I had to put all of my time into practicing my combos to play good Brawlhalla. As a final note, I want to emphasize that it's not gonna be an easy journey, that just by doing this once you instantly become the best player of your lobby. It takes time and effort to grow, and these are just some tips that you can use to focus your attention on the things that need attention and make you grow faster. So don't be afraid of failure. Think of failure as another chance at improving, and every lost match is a new class for you to learn from. And with this, I really want to thank you for watching and listening to me ramble. I hope this was very helpful. First of all, look, can you guys look at this graph pretty quick? Yeah, this is a pretty good graph, yeah? Yeah, this is a good graph. Anyways, I've been feeling this vibe because I've been having a lot of fun in my live streams. I've been talking to people. People have been asking a lot of questions. And my teacher nature is coming out like a lot more often. So I really hope you enjoyed this. I put on a lot of effort to make it the best that I can right now. So if it's a little flawed, don't worry, I'll get better with time. And that is all. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Kisses, smooches.